Taylor, thank you for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I wanted to do an eyebrow tutorial for you all. I'm covering all the basics, and so of course eyebrows is on my top thing of what I need to feel like I am truly myself. I did have a shorter tutorial out there, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth and actually show you how I apply my eyebrows. So stay tuned. First of all, can I just say how hard it was doing my makeup without my eyebrows? For me, eyebrows shape everything on my face. So I usually do those first and foremost. I get those out of the way so I can map out what I want to do for, everything else. So I did go ahead and, as you can see, complete my face, and now we're just going to go over eyebrows only. Today I am going to use the LA Girl Eyebrow Kit. It is in medium for me. I use dark brown for powder for my eyebrows. You can really just go whatever color you think it looks best on you. There's no real chart or anything about it, and as I say all the time, I believe you define your beauty, so go with it. I have been using a series of powder, and sometimes I use pencil if I am in a hurry. I haven't used anything specific when it comes to pencil because I prefer the powder. And really with powder, because it's simply powder, you can use really almost anything. I do like this kit because it has a wax in the kit, which makes the powder shape better and be more defined. Powder can get messy if you are messy with it. So you can see it has a small angle, and it just helps just really shape where you want to put the powder and the wax. Don't mind my dirty nails. I just came back from a team building event at my job, and we did some painting. It was so fun. So what I do when I first get started, I outline my brow. I start at the bottom, and then I also align the top. When you want a very defined line, that is when you're going to go, you're going to grab your powder. As you can see, I've used this a lot. It's dirty. I grab my powder, and then I grab a little wax on top of the powder, and make sure you just have like an even consistency of both. You don't want anything lumpy, although it happens sometimes, but usually, and that's another reason why I do it first, is so I can clean up any mess that I cause afterwards. We can still clean up with this. It's just going to be a little, I always like to make it easy as possible on myself, so I usually do these first. But so let's get started. But I have a little bit of wax and the powder. I am going to start on the bottom. And you want to do short strokes if possible. So if you do get misguided, you can fix it with your next short stroke. If you do longer strokes and you somehow get messed up or off guide, it's a little harder to fix. And then I sort of push the remaining powder up into the brow hair. I'm not going to feel the whole thing right now, just wanted to get the remaining powder off my brush. Now I'm going to line the top. And then I wipe off any excess powder through the brow. Now at the head of my brows, some people like the blocky look. I don't necessarily prefer that. So I then turn my brush up and down, and I make small strokes to just really resemble hair as much as possible. And then I wipe it through like that. So small stroke, wipe through. So as you can see, it sort of fades in, and that's how I prefer my brows. So I just feel like it looks a little more natural, but again, it's your preference. So that's one brow down. We will touch it up, I'm sure. Now the thing with brows is getting it as symmetrical as possible. The thing is with your eyebrows, they are they're cousins, not sisters. So don't over stress it. Just get it as close as possible. My rule, and this is another reason why I like to do it first, is because you can guide it out. So if you just sort of drag it over, you know where it should end at the lowest point. If you drag it, should start at the highest point. And then if I didn't have any other makeup on, I could just, you know, wipe clean what I drew. Also, you can map out your brow by taking just something straight, putting it at the end of your nose and go straight up. And that's sort of where your brow should start. You can turn it through the pupil, where this is through your pupil, and that's sort of where your arch should, your highest point of the arch should go. And then you should put it at the end of your eye here, and that is where your brow should end. Now, it's a rough guide. It doesn't have to be perfect because, again, not all of us are symmetrical, and our bone structure is all different. So really just go with what you feel is best, but that is a rough guide to at least get an idea of what looks natural. So I'm gonna act like I'm drawing across and go for it. So as you can see, this is how it looks first roundabout. Now I did get a little off track here, if you can notice that. It's a little blurred out. So I do go back and define it with concealer, and just use the concealer that if you do it like I just did it after your makeup's done, obviously you want to match the same tone of concealer so it doesn't look abnormal. It's going to blend in with the rest of your makeup. So I take a little concealer that I use, and on my concealer brush, just define. And it does look like I had some type of color on here, so it doesn't match after I just went through that whole speech. Don't you just love that? But don't panic. It happens all the time to the best of us. It's makeup. So go back and try to fix that. A little better, and then I'm going to blend it in with a little brush that I had my transition color on. So now you can barely tell that I don't even have, I haven't gotten my eyebrows like professionally done in a while. I've been trying to grow back the thickness of my hair. I don't know if you've noticed before I put the powder in. I do have hair, but it's very thin and fine, so you can see my skin tone under it. So it's a little hard for me when I go to a eyebrow professional and I ask for, you know, just a shape up. It can get a little scary if you don't find someone you trust, and you know they're just gonna go and do more like a template. So you want to find someone who is a specialist in what they do and take value in what they do. I do have someone that I trust down here, Brows by Nikki. She does threading and she's amazing. I just haven't gone in a while because I am trying to grow back thickness and fullness first before I go and get that shaped. In the meantime, I found a technique with makeup to, you know, sort of hard to find even though they aren't. So you can use makeup if you don't have any heavy hair growing outside of what you want it to be, and I don't, so it works for me. It may not work for everyone that way. So now I'm just going to go ahead and make sure they are truly what I want them to be, and this is sort of where I examine the evenness of them both. It looks like the start of this one is a little thicker and wider, and this is where the concealer play really comes in handy. And if ever I feel like it is too thick or too dark at the beginning, I really just like the technique of using my hand and sort of smudging outward into the brow. And I've noticed it works for me that way. So You just have to be careful in any aspect or any technique that you do. The last step that I use is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. It sort of puts your hair in place like a hair gel, literally. It comes on a mascara wand, so you can comb through your brow hair. So you can put that in the, you know, shape that looks best and also keep it there all day. So if anyone has longer brow hair, this is perfect because it actually puts your hair exactly where you want it. Right, so that is the completed brow tutorial. This is my final look. What do you guys think? And I am a little more natural side on my brows in comparison to my full coverage that I like. I do see amazing brows out there that just seem so thick and full, but I like the natural look where you can still see some grains of hair. I do think there are products out there that I still want to try out. I just haven't yet because we sort of all get complacent with something we find that works for us. And, you know, I will test out new things with you all and let you know how I think of them. That will be coming soon. I know there's going to be a ton of updated tutorials soon. But just thank you for watching, and if you know anyone who's been asking about, you know, the basics of makeup, send them along to my channel, and I really appreciate it. Happy holidays! Like, subscribe, and share. Happy holidays.